Hello, hello. This is cool. It's my first YouTube live, so I'm looking around. Okay, seems pretty. Okay, and it just emailed me. Cool. Yeah, this seems pretty intuitive. I like it. Okay, well, hey, I'm Lori Thorne. I'm a contemporary romance author, and I'm here today to read the bonus chapter of the new book that I have coming out, Enchanting Elixirs. So I'll talk a little bit about Enchanting Elixirs first, just to give more people time to get in, and then I'll read the bonus chapter for you. Feel free to ask questions, use the chat. I'm usually pretty good about keeping up with chat as soon as I can. But Enchanting Elixirs. Okay, so this is my fifth romance novel, but it's the first paranormal romance. I had a lot of fun writing it. It was very freeing to just be able to world build in that way. The story is the main character, I should say, is Cordelia Covington. She is a potioneer. She makes love potions, but she's quite cynical because to her, she creates love and sells it in a bottle. So she doesn't really think that true love is real. Um, and she really likes things a certain way. She's very scheduled, specific, um, blunt. She is. We're a little bit all Cordelia sometimes, I think. Her niece Hestia works in their shop together, Enchanting Elixirs, that's in Mystic, Connecticut. And weird things start happening around them, right? She's having a hard time, Cordelia. She's got a potion that's giving her a ton of trouble, which is unheard of for her. She's like a world renowned potioneer. So that she's having trouble is pissing her off. It's pretty crappy. um, but she has that potion going on, but also people in their town are going missing. Like, at an alarming rate all of a sudden. And Hestia is freaked out about it. And Cordelia, like I said, she's pretty like by the book, very scheduled, very steadfast. And she's just like, she's not going to change her habits for anything. This is how her life is. She's going to do the same thing every day, period. She's not bothered. She thinks that they will show up, that it's probably just an accident. Like, no big deal. And she tells Hestia, don't worry, right? These people are going to show up. Well, in the meantime, the police are obviously investigating all of these missing persons, and they end up at Enchanting Elixirs. And there's a new officer in town, Carlos Perez. He dresses pretty tacky in Cordelia's opinion, and she cannot shake him. She cannot shake him. Um, anyway, a ton of mystery unfolds. There is some really fun foreshadowing. My readers tell me that the vibe of it is like The Craft meets Buffy, but there are no vampires, just to be clear. I know we love Buffy and vampires, but there are none in this. There's different paranormal things going on. Or like a grown-up Nancy Drew. So keep that in mind if you're into that sort of thing. Enchanting Elixirs is available for pre-order now. It's on Amazon for the ebook. The paperback is available either through my personal website, which I'll sign it for you and send it out, or at barnesandnoble.com or other online book retailers. You can find it pretty much anywhere. So pre-order today. I'm trying to reach my pre-order goal of 10, which might sound low, but I think my best pre-orders for other books have been 7. So it's a little bit of a stretch for me too. So help me reach my goal of 10, pretty please. And if you know someone who loves a paranormal romance, send them to Enchanting Elixirs. Oh, I should turn on my sign. Boom. Now we've got the tone right. The book publishes on January 14th. So we're only, 2 weeks out? 9 days. It's so soon. So it is coming super soon. And I'm excited. And look, the cover, I just got this yesterday. The cover is gorgeous. I mean, honestly, I don't know if you can even see all the detail in the camera, but it is one of my favorite covers that I've had. I think this and Petals and Punches are my favorite, but it is just stunning. Love it. Anyway, we're here to read the bonus chapter. Let me tell you a tiny bit about the bonus chapter. In Enchanting Elixirs, Hestia, who I mentioned before, can read auras. Now, she's not super convinced at the beginning that she can read auras because a lot of people, I mean, if you just had a magical power, would you believe it right away? It's kind of unbelievable, even in a world where that happens. It's super rare. So in this story, her first time reading is referenced, but you'd never really dive in. You don't really know what happened there, just that it was an ordeal. And so the bonus chapter, you get to see it. It is her first time reading. So without further ado, let me just pull this up. In fact, the title of the bonus chapter is Hestia's First Reading. And the subtitle is Potions Are Not Always Kind or Helpful. They can be used to poison, manipulate, and take advantage of people. I'm just taking one quick sec to adjust so I can still see the chat and read at the same time. Okay. When I'm dreading something, I tend to count down to it, and that's what my head has been doing all day. We were roughly 13 hours away when we opened up Enchanting Elixirs, my love potion shop, this morning. Only 9 hours remained at lunch, and as the time drew near, my irritability increased, and I had to make a concerted effort not to snap at the customers. By 4 p.m., only 5 measly hours were left. Unfortunately, I can't hold back my frustration at a customer asking 100 annoying questions when all she has to do is read the goddamned bottle to find the answers. Is Anytime Attention vegan friendly? She shakes the blue tinted bottle at me. Yes, this is plant-based. Will it make him notice me even if I don't dress up? Yes. How long does it last? About an hour. There are usage directions and warnings on the bottle. What does it taste like? Taste? I pinch the bridge of my nose. This is a pheromone potion. You don't drink it. You rub a dropper's worth on your wrist or on your neck. Will I be allergic to it? How? I wish I were the praying type so I could beg for patience. How could I possibly know that? The list of ingredients is on the label. Are you allergic to any of them? For the first time, she turns the bottle over and reads. She raises her brown bobbed head to me. I don't think I'm allergic to anything. You have no known allergies. Like at all? My teeth grind together. She shakes her head. Nope. Then I'd guess you wouldn't be allergic to anything in the store, right? Before she can answer, I make an excuse to exit this conversation before I explode. I'm getting a call I have to take. I hide behind the counter, feigning answering my cell phone. Unfortunately, she follows me, her flip-flops slapping her heels with every step, and waits for me to end my fake call. As soon as my phone falls into my back pocket, she says, I think I'd like to buy this. Will it definitely make my husband seem smarter? My family is coming over. And I cut her off. Can you read? Her tan face falters. Sorry? I asked if you can read. You're holding Anytime Attention. You asked about your husband noticing you, which is what this potion will do. If you want him to seem smarter, you're looking for better clever. Both of these are clearly marked. Please read the labels. Hestia appears beside me. She cuts me a private glare and then turns her wide smile to the customer. Let me show you where Better Clever is. I think I heard you say you're trying to impress your family. I can also recommend Endearment Extract. The two work together great. And bonus, smells like fresh fur. I retreat through the workroom door behind the counter and it clicks shut behind me. 4.5 hours. And okay, I was totally out of line just now. Get a grip, Delia. 30 minutes later and 4 hours left, Hestia joins me in the workroom. Cordelia Serafina Covington. We've talked about this. She's barely concealing her smirk. I bury my face in my hands momentarily and face her comical stance, one hip jutting out and arms crossed. Hestia is my niece, but she was raised by my mom and she is channeling her now. Are you allowed to give me the full name treatment? I ask. Well, I think when the situation is that you ask a customer if they can read, the answer is yes. What happened? What has you so on edge? I cut my eyes at her and flatten my lips into a line. She won't understand, and I don't know how to explain. As if she reads my expression, she laughs and breathes. No. Seriously? Quench? The prospect of coming with me to Quench Lounge has you so tense you snap at a customer. I click my tongue. You know how I feel about those places. They're so loud and crowded, and reading is essential. Hestia sighs. Now I feel bad for bullying you into coming, but not that bad. You have to be social sometimes. It's like a life requirement. We'll get you a strong drink. It won't be so bad. It will be, but bless her for caring about me so much. I already locked up. Why don't you relax with Pinot a little? Maybe have a glass of Pinot for that matter, and I'll be back at 9. Hestia is much better at social graces than I am, so I take her advice and climb the stairs over Enchanting Elixirs 2 at a time to my studio atop the shop. Pinot, my night black cat, hops from the desk and weaves through my legs as soon as I open the door. Hey, buddy. The main room acts as my office during the day and converts into my bedroom at night. Due to its dual nature, I keep it a sterile place. It only takes a minute to push the desk out of the center and pull the Murphy bed from the wall. Bada boom, bedroom. I give the wardrobe a frown, briefly considering that I have to decide what to wear soon before taking the 2 steps down into the kitchen to pour a full glass of wine. I have to bend at the waist and take a sip before it's safe to pick up the glass and bring it to the window. I push a long strand of creeping ivy out of the way and watch the street below. It's bustling down there. Adelaide Avenue is so picturesque that people flock to it at the end of their workdays to walk the cobblestone road, either perusing the eclectic businesses or admiring the mystic river on the opposite side. The sun sinks early this time of year, and I watch the color darken from a burnt orange to deep blue while I sip. And it works, at least a little bit. When it's time to pick an outfit, I'm not as filled with dread as I was before. So it's a night out at a bar. I'm not alone. Hestia will be there. There'll probably be something to snack on, and the drink should be tasty. It will be annoyingly loud, but is that the worst thing? No, I can do this. I fetch some black leggings lined with fleece to keep me warm and an oversized dark green sweater that I cinch at the waist with a black belt. I freshen up my makeup, put on some black-heeled boots, and clomp downstairs. Hestia has just let herself in when I exit the stairwell. She swirls toward me, surprised, no doubt, that she didn't have to drag me out of my apartment. You look so cute. I love this knit, she fusses at the shoulder of my sweater. You too. And of course she does. Hestia is always put together as if she'll be striking a pose for the photographer at any moment. Tonight, she's wearing a maroon dress that slinks over her curves, a warm black coat, black tights, and heels that will make her equal height to most of the men there. She's done something to her long black hair to make it wavier than usual. Shall we then? She holds out a crooked arm, and I weave mine through hers as we step out into the wintry air. Quinch is only a street over, so we cut through an alley and hike the few blocks until we arrive. Hestia watches the cobblestone closely to prevent her stilettos from getting caught in a crack. It's a displeasure to realize the jumbled commotion of blaring music and voices talking over each other is our destination. I should have expected live music, but I missed it somehow. Still, the warm air that tumbles onto us when we open the entrance relieves us from the cold. Hestia scans the bar. She leans into my ear and shouts, "There are 2 seats at the bar. Do you want to take those?" I don't see any other options, and I sure as shit don't want to stand, so I nod my assent and follow her through the crowd. We perch on the high bar stools, and Hestia grabs a menu for us to look at. "Huh," she says. I look up from my menu, and she's grinning. She continues, "I never really thought about it, but a bartender is kind of like a potioneer." I suck my teeth. She's being purposefully impudent. You know, they have to know what ingredients go together to make the best and most effective concoction. Yeah, totally. And the fact that they don't personalize each brew based on someone's current needs, never use ingredients that need to be processed or could be deadly, and craft their potions in seconds, that matters. You forgot they don't need to be innate, Hestia chimes in, laughing that she successfully perturbed me. Innates are people who are born with a magical gift. It's usually hereditary, but even innate parents may not pass on the gift, and the gifts themselves seem to vary. I'm a potioneer, but if I were ever to have children and they were innate, they could be a green or wild keeper or a reader. What determines the gift is something of a mystery at large and within our family. My mother was no innate, and I know nothing of my father, though the gift must have come from him. I push her shoulder playfully as the bartender sidesteps in front of us. He raises his voice, competing with the noise. "What can I get you?" I guess it's too busy for niceties. Hestia replies, "I'll get a prickly bitch." My eyes search the menu for whatever that is, but I feel pressured to answer and I can't find it fast enough. The weight of the eyes on me is too much. I flip the menu and say, "Do you have a red sangria?" "Coming right up," he says, spinning around to face the wall of colorful liquor bottles. I suppose that's a yes. "So, how's it going in the old house?" Hestia had moved back into our childhood home a couple of months ago when we moved my mom into a memory care facility. Her dementia had become too unsafe for her to live alone. Heartbreaking as the situation was, financially speaking, Hestia moving in made sense. Hestia bobbles her head back and forth. It's weird. Good in some ways, of course, but being surrounded by all that nostalgia is intense. I don't feel like I have permission to change anything, so it doesn't feel quite like my home. It's more like I'm visiting Gran home from college. "You can change anything you want. Mom's not coming back." Hestia pulls her head back a centimeter, a reaction I recognize means I've been overly blunt. She doesn't get on to me for it, though. I know, it just doesn't feel that way. Geez, what would I do with all her journals anyway? Mom had spent her youth traveling the world studying and documenting the occult in different cultures and had recorded her findings in hundreds, possibly thousands of journals. Now, that is a good question. I can help organize them. Maybe we can store them somewhere. You'll have a lot more room when we do. The bartender returns and slides an oversized wine glass with bits of fruit floating in it toward me and a martini glass with what could only be a scoop of ice cream toward Hestia. She picks it up and drinks immediately with apparent satisfaction. "What is that?" "The prickly bitch." I glare at her until she elaborates. It has raspberry sorbet, and the drink is kind of like a vodka gingery mix. I nod despite myself. That sounds good. I take a sip from my own glass and feel my brows shoot up. Mine is really good too. Hestia is pleased. Told you it wouldn't be so bad. My ears are ringing from the amplified guitar, but I don't argue. This is the best sangria I've ever had. It might even be worth returning for, but not at night or on the weekend. I'll come when it's dead. We sip from our beverages and people watch, commenting on the more interesting observations we make. The main attraction is a couple on a double date in a booth along the wall. One of the women is not having a good time, and she isn't policing her facial expressions at all. There are 2 tables behind us, close enough that we can catch snippets of conversation. To the right are 2 men ranking the women in the bar on a scale of their devising. It's repulsive. And I hope all their prospects reject them in an embarrassing way. To the left is what we decide is a first date. The conversation is exclusively about those disjointed first questions between 2 people who don't have a clue about each other. I'm having fun despite myself, and I'm relieved to think Hestia is also. I know I can be a drag to her social butterfly. Behind us, I hear the ranking brigade comment on her. The idiots give her an 8 out of 10. And I turn to suggest we come up with our own ranking scale just for them. Hopefully, we'd make them cry when I see Hestia stiffen. Her back goes straight, her shoulders tense. The movement looks unnatural on her. She's usually so at home. My plan to collect misogynist tears is replaced with concern in a blink. Hestia is staring down the other end of the bar, but I reach my hand to hers and squeeze, causing her to tense up more. Hestia, those guys are fucking morons. Don't let them. But she shushes me, barely whipping her head to me and then back to stare down the bar. Did you see that? See what? Hestia turns to face me, her face colorless, shocked. Down the bar, that man. Do you see that? We both turn our gaze to the man she's pointing to. Probably in his late 30s or early 40s, a little overweight, scruffy dark beard. He's wearing a heavy jacket and a dark beanie. He's leaned on the bar casually, laughing with the person he's chatting with. There's nothing extraordinary about him. He could be any man in the place. I see the guy, but what do you mean? His energy is completely frenetic. I think he slipped something in the woman's drink next to him. You saw him drug someone's drink? Maybe, but it's more about how he looks. You don't see it? It hits me then. I think I know what's happening, but we don't have time to suss it out. Hestia, what do you see? I don't know. She shakes her head. Tell me what you see right now, I press. There's a green light around him. It's got a dark green pattern on top of it. It's like diamonds, but it's moving, vibrating. He's manic. He's excited. Can you see anyone else's aura? She rips her eyes off the man in question and turns them on me, horrified, but her eyes don't find mine. They focus around me. Hestia swallows and nods. A tear tracks down her cheek. Look at the bar. Do any of the other auras look the same? She obediently turns her eyes to the room. She pans each table, the low light gleaming in her tears. No. Some people are happy. They're relaxed. Some are sad. She turns back toward me when she says that word. He drugged her, Delia. I'm sure of it. Then we have to act now. You saw the woman. Will you recognize her in the bathroom? A nod. Go tell her. Get her out of here. What are you going to do? She rasps out even as she stands. I don't know. Make a distraction. Go. Hestia spins on her heels and runs toward the restrooms. The fucking asshole is still facing the right direction away from the bathrooms, but I need him to keep doing that. Then the plan strikes. I jump from the stool and fish my phone out of my bag. As I approach, I plaster a smile on my face and force excitement into my voice. Oh my God, oh my God, it's Brendan Sanford. I step directly in front of him, interrupting his conversation. I'm a huge fan. I can't believe you're in Mystic. Oh my God, it's Brendan Sanford. The guy raises his hands as if in surrender and chuckles. Hey, little lady, I'm so sorry, but I'm not even sure who Brendan Sanford is. Kind of sorry I'm not him now. No, you look just like him. Wait, you don't know Brendan Sanford? He's like the guy in high fantasy books right now. He's got an HBO contract and everything. Behind him, I see Hestia and another pretty blonde woman walking swiftly along the perimeter of the room. Nope, he shakes his head. Not much of a reader. Well, I know it's crazy, but could I get a selfie with you anyway? It's uncanny. You could be twins. Oh, well, I guess. I aim my phone camera at us and enforce a cheesy smile. My heart is beating so rapidly that I think I might throw up. I take the photo and say in a hearty voice that I don't recognize, "Thank you." The fake Brendan Sanford returns his attention to the other guy he's speaking with. I grab the drink intended for the blonde woman and book it to the far wall, then follow Hestia's path out the door. The frigid air outside is a relief to my skin. It was so cold before, but now I'm burning from the inside out. The events of the last 10 minutes are a wave hovering above me. They'll be crashing into me, overwhelming and drowning me in moments. I round the corner of the building to find Hestia leaning against the brick wall. She alarms upright as soon as I come into view, as if she'll run. But when she sees it's me, she sighs, "Oh, good," and grabs my elbow to direct us further down the street. Where'd the woman go? My voice shakes. If it's from the adrenaline, the cold, or how fast we're walking over the cobblestone, I'm not certain. Lindy. She was very grateful and scared. She drove off in her car as soon as we were out of the bar. Is that her drink? Hestia's eyes flash my way. I grabbed it. I got a picture of the man. Hestia stumbles, catches herself, and hisses, "You what?" I pretended he was a famous author and asked for a selfie so he wouldn't turn around and look toward the restrooms. Then I grabbed the drink and got out of there. Fucking gods, Delia, what are we going to do with that? I stop and look around to make sure we're alone. I don't know. I didn't really have a plan except just to distract him. It was the first thing that came to mind. Then I worried someone else would mistakenly drink from this, so I snagged it out of the way. Let's talk about the other thing. You're a reader. Hestia raises her right hand as if to deflect my statement. Don't we have a client who's a detective? You're close with her, Keisha, right? Keisha Pope, yes. Why? I have a feeling about where she's going, and I hope I'm wrong because we are not doing that. Hestia's voice is desperate. You have everything we need to prove this guy is drugging drinks. We have to give it to someone. Can we please stop ignoring the fact that you're a reader? Hestia, this is huge, life-changing event. You can read auras. Our conversation has led us back to the shop. Hestia fumbles with her keys in lieu of answering me, swearing when she can't get them to turn in the lock. She's never gotten the hang of how you have to hold the pressure on the key just so. I watch her struggle until she throws both hands in the air, then I sweep in and unlock it with ease. Hestia's long legs carry her right past me, and she grabs our client's address book from beneath the counter and slams it down. What are you doing? I set down the tainted drink. If you don't contact her, I will. And for the last time, we need to digitize this. I will start Monday, and I'm not taking no for an answer. Hestia always wants to upgrade and update everything. I place a hand on the book to prevent her from turning more pages. You can't. I can and I will. No, you can't, I argue. It's against our policies to use client contact information for anything outside of official Enchanting Elixirs business. Hestia puts a hand on her hip and stares right through me. You don't think Keisha would want us to tell her? You know what? Fine. I'll call 911 instead. Her phone is in her hand in seconds. She's pressing the buttons. No! The thought of having unknown police officers in the shop stresses me out, and it would stress customers out too. Even if they came right now, the way rumors spread in Mystic. Okay, I'll call her if you talk to me about your gift. Hestia slowly lowers the phone with narrowed eyes. You first. It's late, I protest, but her expression is threatening mutiny. I'll email her. How about that? She seems to mull it over, then nods. Okay. I start the email and stop. How do I describe what happened? It's not as if innates are some secret, but Hestia hasn't even doesn't seem willing to process what happened. I decide to leave it out and simply report that we saw a guy put something in a woman's drink when she was in the bathroom, that I distracted him and snagged the drink while Hestia helped her out. I attach the picture I took with him and end by expressing my uncertainty that any of this is helpful, but that she could call to follow up or swing by off duty. Keisha knows I prefer her to come by in plain clothes, but I can't help but remind her just in case. I press send and we watch the animation of the email sending together. There. Now. I look up at Hestia's face. She looks so tortured, I grimace, and I start again, gentler. You've just experienced a transformative event. The first time an innate's gifts manifest is monumental. Hestia shakes her head. I don't know. Don't know what? I notice her hands are shaking slightly. I was so wrapped up in the moment of seeing him drop whatever into her drink, I didn't really read. It was in my head. I'd been drinking. Are you fucking kidding me? Hestia, you described seeing auras. It was textbook from what I know about it. You saw mine. You read that guy as much as you saw whatever he did. She sniffs loudly but smiles. Did I really? She lets out a relieved sort of laugh. You did. You're an innate. You're a reader. I hesitate, then pull her into a hug. In the morning, Keisha appears 3 minutes after we open. She walks in like she does when she's here to shop, taking the right turn toward the pristine shelves of pre-made potions we sell. I meet her in the row of brews that enhance physical appearance, the row she typically gravitates to, even though she's stunning without any magic. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Delia. You know I need some more of this miracle. She plucks a small vial of voluptuous, a lip plumper that works for 3 days on application. Figure we'd talk more in the back? Sounds good. Sorry for reaching out with something like this. Keisha throws several long braids behind her shoulder and lowers her brows at me. I'm very much glad you did. Come on, let's hear the whole story. I wave at Hestia to join us as we retreat into the back. I start to recount the tale, but hand it off to her to continue since she's the one who witnessed the drugging. As I had done in the email, Hestia left out the information about the aura she saw. Keisha listens attentively, and when Hestia stops, says, "It was a stroke of genius that you got a picture with him and took the drink. Quick thinking from both of you ladies. I can't promise where this will lead, except to say that the Force will be aware of this gentleman, but I will do my best to make sure he doesn't take advantage of anyone else." Keisha takes the drink that we'd stashed in a refrigerator and leaves. Hestia and I go back out to the sales floor. I muster up the courage and ask, "How are you today?" She shrugs. "Just a normal day." "Have you seen any more auras?" "Nope. I was thinking about it after I got home. I've always been able to read people's body language. That's what happened." Hestia isn't the first and won't be the last innate to be in denial at the onset of their abilities. Given her past, maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. And there you have it. That is the bonus chapter for Enchanting Elixirs. I hope you enjoyed very much. You can download the bonus chapter for free on my website. I put it up today. Again, Enchanting Elixirs is on pre-order now. You can get the ebook from Amazon. You can get the book from my website. I'll personalize it for you, or you can get the paperback from Barnes and Noble or other online retailers. And yeah, help me reach my pre-order goal if you can. Add it to your Goodreads TBR. Those are super meaningful things to authors, just so you know, especially indie authors. The reviews that we get help other people find our works. It's an uphill battle, but I'm so glad to be on it personally. Thank you for coming and listening to the bonus chapter. Enchanting Elixirs publishes on the 14th. I can't wait. If anyone does have questions, I'll hang around for a few minutes. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. And I'll try to do more of these lives. I really am digging the YouTube live, I have to say. Good job, YouTube. This is a good live platform. Cool. Okay. Bye.